Yo, what's up, people? Woo! Yeah! Today is the return of a movie reviews. Finally! After almost 2 months of not doing movie reviews, finally, the movie reviews have come back! Today's movie review is Venom. Now let's get into it, shall we? Now, this movie was good. And when I mean good, I mean this movie was so good, it was better than I expected. Now, I gotta admit, I was a bit critical and a bit nervous because of all the movie reviews, all the talk. Everyone kept talking about this movie's gonna suck. Sony's gonna finally blow it once and for all. Yeah, Sony had me very greatly concerned. For a long time, it's like a Venom movie. Can a Venom movie work without Spider-Man? I mean, I need to see Spider-Man and Venom fight before I can see a Venom movie. That's what I originally thought. And they proved me wrong. They convinced me we can not only do a Venom film, we probably could create a universe where we don't need Spider-Man necessarily to be in it. Because I was concerned. Like most people who love these types of characters, you know, the dark anti-character, I was a bit concerned for a minute. Now, the movie, hold on, you know how I do my movie reviews. You know how I get down and serve with my movie reviews. Spoiler alert, I'm going to say it again. If you have not watched the movie Venom, wait until you get off of work. Either see the movie today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Because, you know, you always get 2 or 3 idiots who go intentionally on purpose 2 weeks or 3 weeks not seeing the movie. And then they go on the internet just because. And then they check out the movie review. And then they get in their feelings when you tell the whole entire movie. Spoiler alert. I'm going to say it again. Spoiler alert. If you ain't seen the movie, go see the movie today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Don't wait until 2 weeks or 3 weeks later to go see the movie and then go, man, he told the whole entire movie on the internet, man. Don't wait until the last minute. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. You have been warned. Spoiler alert. I know people are like, damn it, Alex, stop saying spoiler alert and get into the movie breakdown. It's just common courtesy of respect so everyone can hear the word spoiler alert. That means click off if you don't want to be ruining the movie. Is that right, Venom? That's right. Go watch the movie now. Damn, Venom, why are you getting so pissed? You know, Venom gets upset like that. Now, like I was saying, the movie opens up with them already in outer space. The space shuttle crashed back on Earth. And Jonah Jameson is in the movie. Like, his son, Jonah, he's in the movie, so it indicates that, yeah, there's a strong possibility that, yeah, Spider-Man could resurface in the future. Now, they didn't flat out say Spider-Man's in the movie, but they indicated that who's the one person that hates Spider-Man the absolute most? Jonah Jameson, right? We know that he has a son who becomes a football player and an astronaut that dates cheerleaders, supermodels, and actresses, and he's the one who comes back with the Venom symbiote. Now, I like how they did a nice throwback to the 1990s animated cartoon Amazing Spider-Man, because that's where that scene came from. It came from that. So they showed a nice respect throwback for the fans to say, do you remember when we did the cartoon in the 1990s? And for those that are real diehard Spider-Man fans, you know what I'm talking about. That scene where they come from outer space, they crash on Earth, Spider-Man shows up, he saves the astronauts, he gets the symbiote onto his costume, and then later he becomes the Black Spider-Man. That was a nice throwback to the 1990s. Could have not done any better than that. Now, it's unfortunate that he got killed and the Asian lady had the symbiote, and they wanted to show an interpretation of She-Venom. So they wanted to show other people with the symbiote onto them and how they would react if they had it on them. So that was nice. The next scene of the movie cuts away, and we get a shot of Tom Hardy as a news reporter. Now, they didn't want to make him exactly a photographer like he was in the comic books, because they felt that that was a little too convincing and too straightforward. So they managed to make him into a news reporter, which it was pulled off very nicely on how they done it. And to have his girlfriend played by actress Michelle Williams, she was breathtaking and outstanding. I mean, she pulled off her character very well. You know, the love entrance, you know, these two are supposed to get engaged to get married. You know, he doesn't like the corruption. And we get to see the villain. You know, they immediately establish who are the characters, what their sense of motivation and purposes are. They clearly show us who the villain is. You know, this Middle Eastern guy, you know, he wants to make the world a better place, but he believes human beings are flawed and they need to be recreated all over again. So he basically, they gave us the classic tale of a villain who wants to play God. You know, they gave us that villain that just loves to play God. And the fact that there was a nurse assistant who did not agree with his methods, you know, he killed all these test subjects. You know, they started with the rabbit. You know, of course, the movie also cuts to Hong Kong to show you the accident where the plane crashed. And the fact that they were able to do that and turn it into a horror movie was perfect. I mean, for a moment, I thought this was Resident Evil. And I scratched my head and I said, that's how Resident Evil should have been done. The way they did that cutaway scene where the Asian lady is walking all zombified, that's how Resident Evil, the movie, should have been. And the way they did this is they made it into an actual horror film. You never got the sense that this was a comic book film, or this is about superheroes versus villains. It's a story about people who are trying to do the right thing, but the right thing doesn't work, and they're forced to do the wrong thing just so they can do the right thing. That's basically what you got a sense when you watch this film. Now, the part that I love was when he goes into the liquor store, he gets confronted by the lady, and the Korean lady, and she says, Eddie Brock, do you do that meditation that I told you about? No, I ain't doing it. I did it, that's why it ain't working. That was perfect. And if anybody paid close attention to that movie, spoiler alert, that actually was a reference to Doctor Strange. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the movie Doctor Strange. The only person in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that actually meditates or takes that form of meditation is Doctor Strange. So I'm not saying that in Doctor Strange 2 or in Doctor Strange 3 that we won't potentially see a crossover, but they surely implied and indicated that somewhere in that universe he would have to run into someone that does practice that form of meditation. Possibly Doctor Strange assistant. I'm just saying. So that was an Easter egg reference. I love the fact that they had him in the apartment. He couldn't stand the loud music. And he lost his job after he tried to get into it with the guy. And he lost his girl. And then we see him in a depressed state. And this is true comic book history at its best. They managed to straight out go ahead and give us the humanity of the person. And they didn't want to just give him the symbiote like they did in the cartoon or in the comics. They wanted to get straight to a point where there's got to be a purpose. So when he gets into the lab with the girl, we already knew, you can already tell that when they do this scene, you can tell someone's gonna die. Like, you just know someone's not gonna be there in the second half of the movie. You just know that when the guy meets the girl and the girl tells him, you gotta uncover this, you gotta expose this, you just know that when you do a conspiracy, you know that somewhere in the second half of the movie, you just know someone is not going to be there for the end of the film. And they took her out convincingly. For a moment, I thought they were gonna make it where he loses his girlfriend, this becomes his love interest. I mean, for a moment, I thought they were going to go in that direction. They said, it's a horror movie. People die in horror movies. People go bye-bye in horror movies. And they took the old school conventional thought of horror and said, make it a horror movie, scare the hell out of people. Now, they went with the Deadpool route. Yes, you can't deny they actually went with the Deadpool route. They threw in some comedy, some comedy mischief, and you got the sense that it was just like the first Deadpool film. It also reminded you of Guardians of the Galaxy. It was still a horror movie, but at times you could also sit back and laugh. Like, other words, you could imagine in real life that this would happen to someone and they would do exactly just that in the movie. Now, the action picks up when he gets the symbiote on him. He don't know what he's doing. He hears a voice, Eddie, who is that? What's going on? They brought in some paranoia. He freaking out. He don't know what's going on. And Tom Hardy had a breakout performance in this movie. Thank you, Tom Hardy. You done it once again, my man. You did it with Bane, and you do it again with Venom. And the fact that they captured the look of Venom was oppressive. I mean, the way they got his size, his look, his color, the voice, you knew it was not one actor, it was two actors. And they did this the way of the Hulk. Like, they had it where he struggled to accept the fact that he is now a part of something much more. That he didn't want to be a part of this, but now he has to. The motorcycle scene was perfect. In fact, when he does get onto the motorcycle, spoiler alert, they give us another reference that is from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Remember the first Ant-Man movie? If you watch Ant-Man, you should have noticed the city and location they were at. Same thing with Ant-Man Part 2. So, yeah, I guess maybe in the future, Venom might run into either Doctor Strange or Ant-Man, because they're taking reference from those movies and it's in the same location because they set it in Los Angeles, San Francisco. Didn't they rather have him in New York City running into who? Spider-Man, right? So you're getting reference throughout this movie. You also get a reference when he does come face to face with the symbiote. He not only becomes face to face, I love that they went with the Batman route, where they went dark with the character. They managed to have him climb up the building. He gets on top. He accepts the fact that he's Venom, and they immediately establish what his weakness is. Fire. He can't handle sonic vibrations. And they didn't just do what the cartoon did. They made it where the scientists had to discover that's what hurts the creature. And the fact that they bought in anti-venom just shows that they had to make this movie work, or it just wasn't going to work. Now, I want to give this movie... Shut up, Alex. Who said that? It's Venom. Shut up. I'm taking over. Alex talks too much. He gets on my nerves. If Alex had enough common sense, he would have gotten the girl's phone number a long time ago. Venom, that's not right, man. You can't be telling the viewers about... Be quiet. I give this movie Venom 10 out of 10. It is a kick-ass movie. This movie is on the same level as the Black Panther and the first Deadpool movie, and it rivals Guardians of Galaxy. In fact, I will one day show up, and I will take on the Avengers all by myself. She-Venom was one fine-ass woman. I mean, I love She-Venom. She's my woman. She's my world. She had a nice cameo, and you guys like She-Venom like I do. I kicked Anti-Venom's ass. And at the end of the end credits, I show up, and I look face to face with Cassidy, and I know he's gonna become Carnage. Okay, Venom, you need to let me do the... Shut up, Alex. Carnage and I are gonna kick ass in the sequel. Okay, Venom, it's my movie review. Sorry about that. Venom tried to hijack the movie review from me. You know, ever since I wore this shirt, things have been changing. You know, I've been hearing people talking to me like the phone. Shut that phone off. Damn, Venom. Venom don't like when people call doing movie reviews. You got that shit right. Venom don't like people when call. I love the way they killed Anti-Venom. Like, this wasn't just a battle of good versus evil. This was a person trying to do the wrong thing so they can do the right thing. And Anti-Venom wanted to take over the world. You know, he got the symbiote from the girl. Again, it just reminded me on how you should do Resident Evil. And the fact that he tried to go into space to bring more of himself to Earth just shows the humanity of the villain. The fact that the villain died and then Eddie Brock died and got resurrected, got the symbiote, and the fact, I love the scene with She-Venom. I mean, that was a nice throwback to the comic book. Like, when they showed She-Venom, you can't help but to wonder, yeah, Michelle Williams needs to be She-Venom in the sequel. I mean, she did an outstanding job. It's not all the time in Hollywood that actresses like her get credit for that. I mean, she played her role good. I mean, when I saw her on screen, her character reminded me of the actress who played the nurse in the Doctor Strange movie. It felt just like that. You know, she was bossy. She demanded him to get in the car, and he got in the car, and it established their relationship, their friendship, them trying to get back together, her wanting to keep this thing a secret, and the fact that you get the sense that when you watch this movie, you know what to expect. I mean, I love the reference of Stan Lee showing up and the connection. Now, I love that thing from the trailer where the guy come back in the store to rob the lady and he says, on second thought, I'm just going to eat you. They quickly made him into an anti-hero. Now, the end credit. What can I say about the end credit? I mean, to me, if I had to get this on DVD, because you know I'm going to get it for my collection, and watch it on DVD, I might as well straight out say, seeing Woody Harrelson at the end of the movie was the best damn part. I mean, he had the red hair, the freckles on his face, he was in the straitjacket, he fucking scratched his own skin with blood and put it on the wall and signified, when I get out of here, I'm gonna have carnage with you, Eddie Brock. I mean, they immediately established that they know each other. And again, it is a nice throwback to the 1990s cartoon Amazing Spider-Man. Because when you watch this, they establish the characters in its true periodist form. They finally got Venom right. Now, I give this movie a nice good 9 out of 10. Now, some people might say, why not a 10 out of 10? Because even though the movie was great and kick-ass action, there were some things in the movie that I wish they could have done. One of them was, I wish it could have been rated R. 2, I wish it could have been a little bit more darker. It's nice to have comedy in these movies, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the comedy, but at the same time, I felt that the Venom we could have got is much more darker, and I have a huge feeling that when we get to the sequel, I have a feeling they're going to do exactly just that. They're going to give us a much darker version of Venom. I think because this was the first film, they didn't want to scare off people with too much Venom, so they try to find a way that, let's not make them too dark, let's not make them too light, let's make them kind of in the middle so people can know the character, and then maybe down the road in the future of a sequel or sequels, we're going to make him darker to the point where it is the Venom we recognize from the comics and the anime cartoon series. So, this is a good movie review. What do you think, Venom? It's about time I get my respect. Now shut up. Okay, Venom.